we're talking about ancient Egypt, a civilization that dominated the world for 3,000 years and left behind some of the greatest mysteries in human history. So, what are the secrets that have literally rewritten our history books? Well, we're going to count down the top 10 discoveries that completely changed how we see this incredible culture. And just to get your head around that timescale, Cleopatra is actually closer in time to you and me than she was to the people who built the Great Pyramid. Seriously. For 3 millennia, Egypt wasn't just a civilization, it was the civilization, the center of the world. And you know, when you're around for that long, you're bound to leave behind a few secrets. So today, we're digging in. We're going to uncover the mysteries that have been buried for thousands of years. All right, let's get into it. Our first group of secrets, numbers 10 through 7, are going to challenge pretty much everything you thought you knew about the ancient Egyptians, their age, their skills, and yeah, even their sense of humor. Kicking things off at number 10, it's an icon. You definitely know this one, the Great Sphinx. But here's the thing, it's not just some statue. It's the largest sculpture on Earth ever carved from a single piece of stone, just sitting there, guarding the pyramids at Giza. Now, for centuries, the story was pretty simple, right? The pharaoh Khafre built it around 2500 BC. Case closed. Well, maybe not. There's a pretty wild new theory that says its true origins are way, way more ancient. So check this out. Geologists have looked at the erosion marks on the Sphinx's body, and they're saying, hey, that doesn't look like wind and sand damage. That looks like damage from a ton of rain. And the last time that part of Egypt saw that kind of rainfall, thousands of years before the pharaohs were even a thing. If they're right, wow, our entire timeline for Egyptian history just gets thrown out the window. Coming in hot at number 9 is a building so legendary it was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Pharos Lighthouse of Alexandria. Try to picture this, a 400-foot-tall beacon of light, basically a 40-story skyscraper, guiding ships into the busiest, most important harbor on the planet. And get this, it stood for over 1,500 years. That's just a testament to their incredible engineering. Its legacy was so huge that the word Pharos literally became the word for lighthouse in a bunch of different languages. It really was, and still is, the greatest lighthouse ever built. Period. Moving on to number 8. And this one is a real game changer. It totally blew up that kind of stuffy, formal image we all have of the ancient Egyptians. Found in a simple clay pot, this 3,000-year-old scroll was so scandalous, it just shocked everyone who saw it. Yeah, historian Bettany Hughes is not exaggerating. This thing is basically the world's first dirty comic book. It shows all sorts of wild parties and, well, let's just say explicit encounters. And that's why it's so important. It gives us the human side of the Egyptians. It's proof that they weren't just serious tomb builders. They were real people who had fun and got up to some crazy stuff, just like we do. At number 7, we've got a monument to pure ambition. In a stone quarry in Aswan lies the largest obelisk ever attempted. The real secret here isn't what they built, but what they failed to build. You see, it cracked while they were carving it, so they had to abandon it, still attached to the bedrock. I mean, just imagine a single piece of granite taller than the Statue of Liberty. That's what they were going for. And the fact that they failed? Well, that's what makes it so powerful. It's a reminder of just how massive their dreams were, but also that they had limits. It shows they were willing to go big, even if it didn't always work out. Okay, for our next section, we are diving deep into the afterlife. Secrets number 6, 5, and 4 are all about the Egyptian obsession with what comes after death, and the absolutely mind-blowing preparations they made for that journey. Our number 6 secret was found buried in a pit right beside the Great Pyramid. Back in 1954, archaeologists opened it up and found the Khufu ship, the world's oldest completely intact ship. We're talking 143 feet long, a total masterpiece of ancient shipbuilding. But here's the twist. This perfectly constructed, totally seaworthy boat was never meant to sail. It never even touched the water. It was a solar barge, a spiritual ship designed to carry the pharaoh's soul across the sky with the sun god Ra. Finding this thing completely changed what we thought they could do with ships 4,500 years ago. At number 5, we have a temple that wasn't built brick by brick. No, it was literally carved out of the side of a mountain. I'm talking about Abu Simbel, a monument on a colossal scale, all created for the most powerful pharaoh of all, Ramesses the Great. The stats here are just staggering. You've got 4 65-foot-tall statues of the pharaoh guarding the entrance. The entire temple is as big as a 10-story building, and they carved the whole thing in just 2 decades with no modern machines. This isn't just a temple. It's a giant billboard that screams, "I am the pharaoh and I can do anything." And now at number 4, probably the first thing you think of when you hear ancient Egypt: mummies. You see, for them, death wasn't the end. It was just a transition. And to make that transition, preserving your physical body was absolutely essential. The idea was that your body was your soul's home base for all eternity, so it had to be kept in good shape. And the process? Whoa, it was incredibly complex. They'd remove the internal organs and place them in special jars. They'd even pull the brain out through the nose with a hook. They figured it was just useless stuffing. Then they'd pack the body in special salt for 40 days to dry it out. It's this amazing mix of deep spiritual belief and a surprisingly advanced understanding of anatomy. Okay, here we go. We are down to our final 3 secrets. And these aren't just fascinating finds. They are the absolute master keys that unlocked the entire Egyptian civilization for the modern world, letting us finally read their words and see their incredible world. Coming in at number 3 is the Rosetta Stone. Now, honestly, if you saw it in a museum, you might just walk right by it. It's just a broken slab of dark rock. But don't be fooled. This might be the single most important archaeological find in history. It's the rock that gave the ancient Egyptians their voice back. So here was the problem. For over 1,000 years, nobody could read hieroglyphs. It was a lost language. All those incredible stories on temple walls, they were silent. Then along comes the Rosetta Stone. It was the solution. It had the same exact decree written in 3 different scripts. One was hieroglyphs, another was a later Egyptian script, and one was ancient Greek, which scholars could read. By matching the known Greek to the unknown hieroglyphs, they cracked the code. And just like that, 3,000 years of history started talking to us again. Just missing that top spot at number 2, it's the pyramids. And listen, I don't just mean the 3 famous ones at Giza. I'm talking about a massive, kingdom-wide building project that defined an entire era of Egyptian civilization. There are over 100 pyramids still standing across Egypt. They are the symbol of this civilization's power and ambition. And the genius who invented the pyramid, an architect named Imhotep, he was so brilliant, so revered for his achievement, that centuries later, the Egyptians were literally worshiping him as a god. I mean, that's the kind of impact we're talking about. And that brings us to number 1, the greatest secret of ancient Egypt. It's 1922. The archaeologist Howard Carter makes a tiny hole in the door of a small, forgotten tomb. He peers inside and sees something that had been lost to the world for over 3,000 years: the treasures of Tutankhamun. It was the only royal tomb ever found that was almost completely untouched, and the stuff inside, it was just beyond anyone's wildest dreams. We're talking solid gold chariots, golden thrones, jewelry made with precious stones from all over the world, lapis from Afghanistan, obsidian from across the Mediterranean. This tomb proved the pharaohs didn't just have immense wealth, they were at the heart of a vast international trade network. But among the thousands of priceless artifacts, one object stood apart. Buried within a whole series of nested coffins was the ultimate treasure, the very image of the boy king. The death mask of Tutankhamun. It is an absolute masterpiece. It weighs 24 pounds. That's over 10 kilograms of solid gold inlaid with precious stones. More than any other object, this mask gives you a real, tangible feeling for the power, the glory, and the incredible wealth of ancient Egypt. So there you have it. From a mysterious statue that could rewrite our history books to a golden mask that became the face of a civilization, these secrets piece together an incredible story. They show us a culture of master builders, deep believers, and complex, fascinating people. But you know, the most tantalizing secret of all might be what we haven't found yet. Archaeologists estimate that we've only uncovered about 30% of ancient Egypt's ruins. So you just have to wonder, what other wonders, what other stories are still out there waiting to be discovered beneath the sands?